Folks, welcome back to Project Motor Racing and the start of a new career mode. So the game managed to essentially nuke my save game. In fact, all of my save games, well, there's only one save game, all of my career save games, and blank my profile. I've spoken to the guys at Straight 4 and they have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened. So we're starting again, but that lets me do something that I wanted to do. And that's run a slightly more immersive career mode with the help of ChatGPT. So we are starting out with the Porsche Carrera Cup car, the 964, and £20,000 in the bank. We have a car that has a very clean livery because we have no sponsorship. In terms of the game mode, have it set on championship. So if we win the championship, we get more money. But what I'm going to do is take that bonus money away because that sponsorship model doubles the prize that we get. So I can work that out easily enough if we win. If we don't win, we don't get any sponsorship money. That's good. I'm running on 80% difficulty and ×1 race duration. So we have the car, we have 20 grand. And ChatGPT is going to help with things like if I do well, sponsors will approach me. Depending on how well I do, that will depend on the size of the sponsors. If we do really well, racing teams from other classes of cars will approach us with offers of either single race drives or that kind of thing. So the idea is this is more immersive than drive race or enter event, drive race, win money, buy car. We have to do well to progress. And if we do really well, we'll get offers to do other things. This involves me doing work in the background, creating events, that kind of stuff. Some of them will be done as career events. Some of them will be race weekend events and we'll add money back in. But hopefully it'll make it more interesting. This first video, depending on how long it takes me, is going to be, I've created a custom event called the Northampton Race Weekend. So the idea is this is a kind of entry-level event in the Porsche 964. It's cheap to enter. It's got lower prize money. So if you compare it to the UK Championship event, which is 10 grand to enter, ours is only 4 and a bit because we're based in Europe, so you get a reduction. It's actually supposed to be 5, and I'm guessing this is supposed to be 15. But the prizes are also scaled. You can see the purse is significantly smaller. And if we look at some of the other two events, we can't afford to even enter these yet, but the prizes are a lot bigger. So, and I might scale the prizes. I might not use any of these events for a while because I want the progression to be representative of, if we do one of these, we can instantly go and buy a much bigger, faster car. And that's probably not how it would work. So, but yeah, so this one, we'll enter it and you'll see it's 2 races. The first race uses the short circuit. It's called the international, but it's the short circuit, so it's 12 laps. Second race uses the longer circuit, so it's 6 laps. The idea being that it takes place over a weekend. And we'll get cracking. So I'm on my controller. I did actually try and do a bit of this with the wheel, and I'm really bad at racing with the wheel compared to how I am with the controller. So we're going to go with the controller just so that I can actually enjoy myself. And I'm going to, in case some of it was me screwing with the setup, I'm going to reload the default setup and then make some changes. We're going to max those out. We're going to rip a load of fuel out. And I'm going to tweak the brake bias a little bit. We're going to do that. And I'm not going to actually run practice. Done quite a lot of driving on this circuit today, so we're just going to get going and see, hopefully, that I can race as expected. So the only delta between what I'm doing now and what I was doing earlier is I've swapped computers. So hopefully things will be, well, and like displays and all the association with swapping computers. So hopefully things will be okay. But yeah, I could not get on with driving this car and using the wheel. I've done some stuff with like in the MX-5 on the wheel, and some of the other cars have been absolutely fine, but on this car, not a chance. So yeah, I don't know. Other things. So this race is set in the spring. The weather is cold, so the track will be cold. And we are the first race of the day because we are, the amateurs. So it's 9 a.m. in the morning. And that probably, the track's probably cold. Well, the track will be cold. I didn't look at the weather report as we loaded in, but the track will be cold. I'm not sure how much that affects things in the game, but yeah. And as we progress through, we'll move through the year. I don't know how long through the year it will be before we're, making progress, but and I'll, throw together different events and stuff, and we'll just see how we get on. But I was really a little bit disappointed that there wasn't more immersion in, and not quite story, but more immersion in the career mode or championship mode for Project Motor Racing. Now, it can't, no, I'm not going to say that. It can't be impossible to implement some kind of system, or, if you're doing well, sponsors will approach you. Teams will approach you to offer you drives. If you're doing badly, you're kind of stuck with whatever money you've got and whatever you can do yourself. That must be possible. Yes. That's more like the kind of time I expected to be putting in, and I just could not do on the wheel. Could not get a good time. I do struggle a lot on this circuit with track limits, as we've just done here. A lot of it is cutting corners a little bit early, because you can, and why wouldn't you? So I've raced a lot around, so I started setting all of this up today, and I needed to create this event because it felt like, team based in the UK, we would do an event in the UK as our first event. I didn't want to just use the event that they had, because if I won that, I'd have enough to, not quite, but almost go out and buy a new car. We'd certainly not have financial challenges. And I want this to be, I don't know, I want it to be interesting. I want there to be a little bit of drama, I guess. Yeah. And I thought this more realistically reflected how things would work. You'd go to a track for a weekend, you'd run some races, and that'd be it. So that's what we're doing. And maybe next time we'll go to a different track or run a couple of races. I don't know which track. Maybe we'll go to Europe if we've done well. Maybe we'll do Donington. I'm not sure. Obviously, it'll be a while before we're travelling to the States. you kind of going with the story initially will probably be somewhere we could trailer our car to. So I quite like that on 80% difficulty. The grid's quite tight. Everyone's got quite similar times, which is good but bad because you need to be fairly competitive. If you're a little way off the pace, you're off the pace. Whereas I found on the lower difficulties, there's a bit more spread. That was a bad approach into that corner. Yeah, I found on the lower difficulties, there's generally a bit more spread on the time. So, if you're a little way off the pace, it doesn't matter. But that's really not in this. It's really not. But yeah, I don't know whether it's just like playing on controller that things are a bit more forgiving. But yeah, I found that, breaking into that previous corner, so often I would end up facing backwards. Yeah, I just wasn't having fun. And I play this game to have fun. I can have fun on the controller. So I need to invest time, I think, in getting used to driving on the wheel. Maybe a bit of time setting up things for racing on the wheel. And it'll be better. Probably a part of it is investing some time, which I haven't done. So, But as always, time is never a commodity that I have a huge surplus of for doing stuff like that, So there's literally a case of, I can drag the wheel down and I can do this with the wheel. And then, no. Well, I could. I spent like 30 minutes probably arsing around with it, and I just wasn't enjoying it. Everything was a fight, so I decided to stop fighting it and go back to playing on the controller and having fun. There's time there. There was time there. We need what? A couple of hundredths of a second? A couple of hundredths of a second we can get pole. Be nice. That corner is where I'm losing time, but I can also gain time. And that corner, I'm losing time against myself, which means I'm losing time against them, so come on, come on. We're going to get another fast lap in. Don't force it. Don't force it. It's not going to be quicker. Yeah, I know, Ben. Just be quiet and let me work. You aren't going to make me quicker, buddy. There it is. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. Has that screwed it? Yes. That was it. That was it. That was a pole lap. We might get one more in. We might get one more. It's cool. Come on. You can do this. You can do this. You can get it. Don't cut corners. That's it. Come on. There's time still. There's time still. Yep. We can do this. Come on. We can jump from 9th to pole. That would be huge. That would be huge. Come on. Come on. Come on. Not as quick as last time. I think we're going to have work to do in the race. I have work to do just because I cut that last corner. Damn it. Oh well. We know we can be quicker in the race. We know we can be quicker in the race. Right, let's just check. Our fuel loadout for 12 laps is 13 litres. We're running 15, so we're fine there. So we can be quicker. Yeah, my game plan is to be faster than them. That's my game plan. So, yeah. Let's see how we can do in the race. Oh, just trying to relax my shoulders a bit. That's why I'm letting the cinematic play. Just till we get to my car, just so you can see it. How plain it is compared to the rest of them. Because we don't have sponsors yet. So these guys have all got all of their sponsorship stickers all over them. And here we are. Come on, there we are. Plain old boring car. Let's go. Let's go. We got this. Come on. Hopefully not too much damage either is going to be pretty key. Let's go. Let's go. Tyres are reasonably warm, so... But I think not being too aggressive early on is going to be useful. Unlike that guy who just went flying down the outside and gained a bunch of positions. So, you know, good for him, I guess. Good for him. But my kind of concern is the financials of getting the beating out of us. Because these races don't pay brilliantly. So, you know. But we've already picked up probably a couple of grand's worth of repairs in that first section of the lap. So, yay. I think we need to be like in top 5 to make some money. So, that would be good. Is this risky? Is this risky? Probably, but you know, points make prizes and prizes make us a winner. So everyone's all over the place. Go through the gap. Brake, 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 brake. We're in the money. Can we get on the podium? We've got like loads of laps left. We don't need to win this race on lap 2. But equally, you don't want to fall too far behind. So, you know, there is that. Let's go. Let's go. Honestly, podium would be good. A podium would be good. Not having that chewed up front fender and bumper would be also good. But, you know, we'll get that repaired between races because we have to. I wish you didn't. Within an event. I wish you could leave it and repair it at the end. But, you know, it doesn't let you do that. So, come on, come on. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go. On the podium. If I don't stack it or, you know. That's good. Don't cut the corner. Yeah, let's go. Brake, brake, brake. Best line through there. honestly, as long as we're doing okay, I'm happy. So, yeah. Oh, just want to get a reasonable set of results out of this first weekend. That's all we need. You know, don't need to be a hero. Just need to be okay. Obviously, the car's never going to get any better because it's the same single class racing. But if we can, if I can get better, that's a thing. I can become better at racing. I can get better in the car. That definitely was the thing with the Mazda. The more time I spent racing in it, the better I got. In terms of like difficulty levels and stuff, I'm not sure how I'm going to mess around with scaling that. Again, something that I've spoken about before, that if it's impossibly difficult all the time, it's no fun. If I'm always stomping all over anyone, it's no fun. So, I mean, I can imagine that like, if I suddenly am racing in a faster class of car, I might bump the difficulty up for that race to simulate my inexperience. I know we don't really need to simulate that. I suck. But you know what I mean. We'll do something to ensure that I don't jump into like a GT car and suddenly I turn up and I win, because that'd be wrong, wouldn't it? If the guy from the 964, privateer turns up in his battered car and wins, gets a seat in a faster car, and turns up and stomps all over the established drivers, that would be wrong. So, yeah. But those races will probably tweak the difficulty a little bit. It'll be interesting to work out how to do, but, and as I've established things, we're getting going, I'll stop talking about the background stuff as much because that ruins the immersion for you guys. But this is the first video. I'm sure some of you, if you're playing the game, are maybe vaguely interested in how I'm doing this. So, or you will be as it gets going and you see how it evolves. And I at least hope this is interesting, and some of you that are watching are playing the game, because people need to play the game. Yeah. That is not a good racing line at all. That is a horrendous racing line, sir. This is why you're the rookie. But you are pushing for second. Well, you are in second. So, I think for me, 80% difficulty is quite a good level at the moment. I've had races where I can win moderately okay. And then, this one, it feels like we're in a bit of a battle. If I can string together some good laps, we could probably get past this guy. But equally, I'm inconsistent enough that it's going to be a bit of work. So, at the moment, we could finish somewhere between 1st and 15th. Quick check of the old fuel gauge. Yeah, I think the other thing when I was running the test of this, I forgot to change track layouts for the second race when I was setting up the custom event in the XML, and it meant race 2 was a really short race, which was kind of nice because I was testing, and it doesn't really matter how long everything is. But it really confused me as I ran the laps for the second race. I ran qualifying because so race 2 in this event doesn't have practice. The idea being that you've done practice race or practice qualifying race, you probably don't need practice again. That's a little bit of light contact there, Robin's racing, folks. Robin's racing. Oh, have we got him? We got him. Yes, we made it stick. Was that a legal overtake maneuver? Well, it's AI, so it doesn't matter. I was watching Rory Alexander. Here he is. On Thursday through Friday, he was doing a 24-hour stream on Gran Turismo 7. He was doing a 24-hour event that's part of the update to Gran Turismo 7. And that was racing against AI. And the guy's a machine. Apart from having a minor emotional blip partway through, the guy's a machine. Because one of the things about racing AI is they generally don't make mistakes. So they just don't stop. And I'm going to spoil it. If you want to watch it, stop listening for a few minutes. On the last lap, he was battling for a position. I won't say the position. And the car he was in was not particularly quick on the straights, and he was going around the Nordschleife, so a track that has a lot of long straights. And he got past the car that he was battling, and then on the straight, it was just eating into him, and he was like, I can't block him. I had him in my head, like, it's AI, I would totally block him. It's not like it's a real human, but racing etiquette says you probably shouldn't, but it's AI. It's not even AI, it's a freaking algorithm. Is AI an algorithm? There's a question, but I'm 100% in that situation after racing for 24 hours with like minutes of the race to go would have blocked them. But unsportsman? Yeah. Care? No. Now, I didn't see the start of the race to know that whether it mattered where he finished, whether it was just you needed to finish the thing. Because 24 hours against AI is a serious slog. I remember seeing for the first time in Gran Turismo one of those 24-hour races and being curious, never ever actually sitting down to do one. I did occasionally think, maybe I could set aside a weekend and break it up into blocks of like 2 12-hour stints or something, but nah, never did it. And you guys have seen how I do on longer races. I mean, 12 laps is a session for me. Doing these 2 races back to back is going to be a session, particularly as I've just done a bunch of stuff, so we can probably expect me to be somewhat inconsistent in race number 2. But we'll see. We'll see. Hoping I can do better in qualifying, so it's not so much of a slog. Yeah. Honestly, the difference between racing on the control block and racing on the wheel is like night and day. mostly the behavior under braking. I don't know what the difference is. But yeah, the behavior under braking is just night and day different. It's something I need to have a look at. Previously, my experience has been that I've been better using the wheel than I am on the controller, but I've put in a lot of effort with the controller, so maybe that's just it. I don't know. How about we don't? Because we've got 1 lap to go and enough fuel to finish the race. That really bugs me. That really bugs me. I wish there was a bit of logic that says, actually, you're on the penultimate lap. Let's not tell you to pit. You know, unless you're on really low fuel. But I have enough fuel to finish. So I probably don't need to pit then, you know? In fact, that'd probably be really bad. Really bad tactical advice. Pit on the penultimate lap when you've got enough fuel to finish the lap. Yes, good idea, buddy. Good job. Now I know that's just bad algorithmic logic for picking the voice samples that they're playing. But oh, it bugs me. Oh, it bugs me every time. And it happens for me in the vast majority of races because I try and run a fuel load, which means I'm pretty low on fuel by the time we get to the end of the race, because why do you want to carry excess fuel around, you know? I need every advantage I can get. And I think we were actually quicker around the race than we were in qualifying, which, you know, there's no reason we can't be as quick during the races and qualifying, because we don't have qualifying tyres. So I need to grab a screenshot. Actually, I can grab them out of the video anyway if it doesn't work. So, yeah, well done. Good job. And screenshot of that. There we go. So that I can feed those to ChatGPT, and then we need to go into there and there and that jobby, and then we need to repair that. And who is number 2, the purple car? Okay. And we'll head back to Northampton for race number 2, which is going to be 6 laps of the full circuit. See if we can handle that. Straight into quali. We should be good for everything, so let's go. Only a 10-minute qualifying, and with double the lap length. Oh, we didn't load our setup by the looks of it. Return to pit. Vehicle setup. Load. No, it's probably... it's a new circuit, isn't it? Let's rip out. Yeah, let's go to about there. Brake bites, let's go to 65. Let's do a couple of clicks on the clutch. I don't know what that does, but apparently it's good. And tyres are warm, so let's go. And it's now in the evening. Now, that's obviously It's the next day, and the schedule's run late, folks. So we've been stuck right at the end of the day, and basically we're getting our race in before the track closes on Sunday. So I'm going to be late home. Not going to be good. Yeah, not going to be good. Late home on a Sunday. We're going to have to get packed up and get back home. But anyway, let's see how we can get on. So no practice. Now, I stupidly had assumed this layout was more similar than it is, but I think what we'll do is we'll go with following one of the other cars for now. So there is an alternate layout for this track which uses the old pits. I'm kind of hoping that as people get into modding, you know, one of the obvious easy routes is making alternative layouts of circuits that exist, and there's a couple that kind of scream as having easy alternate layouts available to them. This is probably one of them. Daytona feels like it's got plenty of options for alternative layouts. Whether they're realistic or not, I don't know, but yeah. Make use of what's there so people have some different stuff to race on. Now, that will upset some of these impurists because it's a simulator. We should only have real things. But yeah. Apparently, some of them got a bit upset about Eagle's fun F1 GT cars because, you know, this is a proper simulator. We shouldn't have fun things. Not allowed to have fun. But funnily enough, this is a video game, and video games are for having fun, folks. So, right, can we string together a coherent lap? Yes, Benjamin. You do nothing to help my ability to do well in the car. Brake. Oh, these first few corners are rough. Come on. There we go. Let's go. I think key is going to be trying not to get a track limit problem. Otherwise we're throwing away a much longer lap this time. See how we get on. Come on. Can we get this guy around the outside of a hairpin? Is probably not the place to do it, but can I get the drive into the straight to get past him? Looks like it. Come on, turn. Yes. I think there's a corner coming up, but we can outbrake them. Oh, we didn't outbrake them, but they outbrake themselves. There we go. So hopefully we're faster than someone if we don't screw this lap up. That's a big if. It's not great that it's taken us 5 minutes to get to being partway around to the first hot lap. So yeah, we could do it as being a half decent lap. Let's see how we get on. 232. I'm just hoping that we can get somewhere decent and I can just call it for quali there. That would be my ideal. I guess we'll see as we come around here. So hard to actually try and brake at a sensible point. I think I braked quite early there even. But you know, what are we looking at? 230. Don't think that's quick enough to hold pole. Right. Is there any more time out there? Probably not on this. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it. How did we do? Yes. Yes. Right. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Come on. We got this. 6 laps. Didn't check fuel. God, I hope we've got enough fuel. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. Didn't check fuel. 230 a lap. 6 laps. I hope we've got enough fuel, folks. Otherwise, we could be screwed. Why didn't I check that? It was not intentional drama. It was me being overexcited. Well, so we started with 16 litres of fuel. 16 divided by 6, so 2 would be 12, that is 4 divided by 6. I can't do that maths in my head. Okay, it's 4/6 obviously. Ideally we want to be using like less than 2 and a bit litres per lap. Right, oh God, trying to do maths and do a hot lap is not a good combination. Concentrate on driving and worry about fuel once you've got a lap in, or 2. That's probably the thing to do. I guess once I've done 2 laps, if I triple what I've used, then we'll know. That's an idea. Let's go with that as a plan. Because we can't fix it now, so, well, we can, because there's a way we can get more fuel. There is a fuel station, but you know, we don't really want to have to use it. So if we use 2 litres a lap, we'll be fine. Fine. Right, let's concentrate on racing for a bit. See if we can get back in front. That's probably number 1 priority. Actually, number 1 priority is not crashing again. Number 2 priority is getting back in front. Number 3 priority is not running out of fuel. Yep. And hopefully keeping the car in better condition. Right. There we go. There are our priorities for the day, folks. And then getting it on the trailer as quickly as possible to get home. Come on. Send it. Yes. I think we've got him. Them. Thomas. I think we've got him. More importantly, they're not the person who won the last race. Or came second in the last race. Come on, we can do this. Yes. So that will do good, because that means there's a good chance we can, if we don't screw up, we can get a good result out of the championship, which will give us, so the prize for first in the championship is 20 grand. That will mean I need to take off the 40 grand for the sponsorship purse. So, yeah, 20 grand prize will be awesome if we get it. Let's not count our prize money before we've done our laps. I don't want to look down at the fuel gauge. 12.2 litres. That's not bad. Brake. I have got Sim Dashboard set up to work with the game, but I'm not using it, and that does tell me a lap's remaining, I think. But yeah, so we use just over 4 litres for 2 laps. So in theory, we will use 12 litres, and we had 16, so we're good in theory. In theory. So this next one will be the halfway point, so another good simple maths point to work out how much we're going to use. And yes, now my brain has cleared. 4/6 is 2/3, which is 0.6. So as long as we're using less than 2.6 litres per lap, we are good. I was flustered, folks. I was flustered. We're settling in now. We're settling in. Lap 3. We're doing okay. If I remember, I'm going to save the replay from this race and see if I can edit in some of the external footage. Depends how editing goes. I might just do what I normally do. But we might have like a split screen other cam thing going on. I don't know. And if I do, let me know if you like it. If I don't, let me know if you would like me to try doing that. It's just because I'm recording this late-ish in the evening the day before I would like to release this video, so I might not get time to do. We'll see. Only 1.2 seconds ahead. That's not awesome. That's not awesome. We need to make sure that we keep the car on the grey stuff, not on the green stuff. And we'll be better off. But to brake for the chicane, that's important. That's important, and I keep not wanting to do it. But it's much faster if you do brake for the chicane. Lift there. 10 litres, so that means we've used 6, so we'll use 12 for the whole race. We started with 16, we should be good. Got away with that one. Brake. Okay, round we go. Let's go. Three more laps. Can I stay coherent for 3 more laps? That's the question. That is the question. As to how people do these like 24-hour marathon efforts. I can't remember how many laps it was that he did of it. And it's not even like it's an easy track. And he doesn't use racing lines and all that stuff. He just knows what he's doing. So yeah. Insane. Really is. Maybe a track limit. Could maybe take that faster, yeah. Could maybe take that faster. But Anyway. Break. Getting sloppy now. That's more track limit problems. I'm getting tired. Yep. Slowly give them the time back. We've got plenty of time to do it. Well, part of my problem is when I give time back, I give it back in massive handfuls. And I end up losing way more. Really don't like that. So yeah. Using the full amount of time to give back the time is a sensible thing. Go 2 more laps. 8 litres of fuel. We're good. We're good. OBS is still recording. That's good. So one of the slight inconveniences is because I set the wheel up. I plugged everything into our big TV in the lounge. So that's how I tend to use the wheel. And when I decided to unuse the wheel, I just left everything plugged into the big TV, which is nice for playing the game on, but not so good for the old ergonomics. Things are starting to ache a bit. My excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Come on. Let's go. And maybe we could turn the difficulty up a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe a couple of notches. So we're scrapping. He says, as that was not fast. Sliding around corners is not good, sir. Yes, track limits. Wonderful. Good job. Brake. Come on. Come on, don't go wrong now. Don't like it when the radar appears. Yep, we just lost all of our lead. There's like a really nice pre-warning when the radar pops up, but it's really bad pre-warning because that means they're close. And they're pretty brutal with their overtakes as well. They will just go through you. So really need to get a decent lap in this time round. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben. Solid strategical advice again there. I was just gonna park up on the side of the road. I know. Because I would essentially do that. I thought it'd be much more sportsman of me to just stop and let them go past. You know, it feels like the gentlemanly thing to do, doesn't it? It feels kind of rude of me to get pole and then just win. Doesn't feel like they're a British thing to do. Probably let them come past and then go colonize their country. There was a second part to that joke in my head, but I stopped myself. Anyway, we've got a bit of a lead back. which is nice. Oh, that curb is rough. Well, because you're not supposed to use it. I didn't lose quite so much time through that segment. Actually, a bit fast. Can we do a fastest lap on the last lap of the race? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Or can I throw it all away on the last few corners? Either is an option. I think we'll go for maybe trying to not throw it all away rather than trying to do a fastest lap. Sounds like a better plan. Yeah, that sounds like a better plan to me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a back-to-back race win. Yes, Ben, I'll pit next lap, should I? Good advice, sir. I'll pit next lap. Wow. Klaus had a bad race. Minus 12 positions. Right, let me get a little bit more data and yeah. So how's the car? No damage on the car. Excellent. We like that. And nice. But that's actually going to be 20 grand because we got the sponsorship bonus. So I'm going to knock that down to £41,000 after our first weekend. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will let you know if we get any interesting news between events. Thank you to the patrons and YouTube channel members. And I will see you all next time.